Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья! Мы рады вас приветствовать в иностранном отделе библиотеки Маяковского. Мы рады, что вы пришли отмечать День Святого Валентина с нами в библиотеку. Я с удовольствием приглашаю вас записаться к нам в отдел в качестве читателей. В нашем отделе представлено 103 иностранных языка и диалекта. Безусловно, все эти иностранные языки представлены нашими изданиями, книгами, дисками, журналами и газетами. Вы наверняка найдете все, что вам нужно и что вам интересно. А сейчас я с удовольствием предоставляю слово нашим соведущим, руководителям проектов билингвистического театра «Кромлех» Елене и Александре Никаноровым.
Здравствуйте. Я сегодня беру на себя русскую часть, отвечаю за тех, кто не говорит по-английски. Вот. И у меня очень много народу спрашивает, что же такое билингвистический театр. Мы существуем уже 30 лет, начали с детей. Это было при доме учителя, Юсуповский дворец, если кто помнит, кто здесь был. Юсупов. Потом дом учителя закрыли, и мы, дети у меня были в основном дети писателей и поэтов петербургских, мы стали репетировать в картинной галерее Борей. Вот. К нам присоединились американские дети, и таким образом родился билингвистический театр «Кромлех». Что это такое? То есть два языка, как правило, русский и английский. Перевод включается в сюжет, включается в действие. Он усиливает конфликт или ослабляет конфликт. И происходит так, что происходящее на сцене понятно и тем, кто говорит по-русски, и тем, кто говорит по-английски. Вот это была основная идея, и мы так уже работаем. У нас есть взрослые проекты с нашими, опять же, петербургскими писателями-поэтами и представляем книги в билингвистическом варианте. I'm talking about bilingual concept of our theater, because we'll have to play in English and in Russian at the same time, and the Russian translation is naturally blended into the action of the play. Usually it goes like this. Вот. Ну а сегодня мы с вами будем читать, опять же, слушать поэзию английскую. Почему мы взяли английскую поэзию, кстати? Когда-то давным-давно, when the grass was greener and the sun was brighter, значит, британский совет предложил нам проиллюстрировать выставку, посвященную Льюису Кэрроллу. Мы это сделали, мы работали с Льюисом Кэрроллом, работали с этой британской выставкой на русском и английском, опять же, и, естественно, таким образом мы вышли на прерафаэлитов, которые тоже были представлены на этой выставке, и к поэзии нонсенса. Я не буду сейчас говорить о том, какие у нас были спектакли. Пожалуй, мы начнем. Правда? На русском и английском. Окей.
Поскольку изначально тема была заявлена как английская поэзия через романтизм Клэри Хью, то есть заканчивать мы будем на комической ноте на Клэри Хью, такие комические куплеты английской поэзии, начнем мы тоже на достаточно веселой ноте, с позднесредневековых баллад шотландских, в которых тема любви раскрывается с семейных ссор. То есть это такие семейно-бытовые комические баллады. Очень известные в переводе Маршака, например, «Старуха дверь закроет». So we're gonna start with the late medieval ballads. Go.
The old cloak, his winter's weather, it waxeth cold, and frost it freezeth on every hill, and boreas blows his blast so bold, that all our cattle are like to spill. Belle, my wife, she loves no strife, she said unto me quietly, rise up and save cow Crumblebock's life. Man, put thine old cloak about thee.
O Belle, my wife, why dost thou fly? Thou kennst my cloak is very thin. It is so bare and overworn, a creek the wrong cannot run. Then I'll no longer borrow nor lend, for once I'll new apparel be. Tomorrow I'll to town and spend, for I'll have a new cloak about me.
Cow Crumbock is a very good cow. She's been always true to the pale. She has helped us to butter and cheese, I trow, and other things she will not fail. I would be loath to see her pine. Good husband, counsel thee take of me. It is not for us to go so fine. Man, take thine old cloak about thee.
My cloak, it was a very good cloak. It hath been always true to the wear, but now it is not worth a groat. I have had it 40 years. Sometimes it was of cloth and grain. 'Tis now but a cycloud, as you might see. It will neither hold out wind nor rain, and I'll have a new cloak about me.
It is 44 years ago. Thine the one of us did ken, and we have had betwixt us two of children either 9 or 10. We have brought them up to women and men, in the fear of God, I trow they be. And why wilt thou thyself mistake? Man, take thine old cloak about thee.
Well, my wife, she loves not strife, yet she will lead me, if she can, and to maintain an easy life, I oft must you, though I'm good man. It's not for a man with a woman to thrive, unless he first give her the plea. As we began, so will we keep, and I'll take my old cloak about me. Старый плащ. Зима ступила на порог, с ней горе досыпных хлебнешь. Борей свирепо дует в рог, и наших коз колотит дрожь. Белл, жена, со мной дружна, но мне бормочет невзначай. Пойдешь к корове, старина, хороший плащ не надевай. Белл, жена, встает луна, а при луне мороз жесток. Мой плащ как будто из редна, в нем околеет и сверчок. Хоть не богаты мы с тобой, неужто нет у нас тряпья? Что за беда, коли зимой хороший плащ надену я? Корова наша хоть куда, все молоко всегда отдаст, а ты в жару и в холода хлебать молочное гораст. Корми коровушку сенцом, да напоить не забывай. Не будь упрямым гордецом, хороший плащ не надевай. Давненько плащ я покупал, он был нарядным, теплым был, да ведь и срок ему немал. Я 40 лет его носил. Хоть и не верится сейчас, он красным был, как кровь моя. Шалишь, жена, на этот раз хороший плащ надену я. Живем мы вместе 40 лет, и я за этот долгий век детишек родила на свет. Должно быть 10 человек. Все стали честными людьми, хотя житье у нас не рай. Не богатеи мы, пойми, хороший плащ не надевай. Белл, жена, со мной дружна, но может вдруг поднять садом. А мне дороже тишина, и я не ставлю на своем. Ничем старуху не уйму, когда в ней злости через край. А хочешь тишины в дому? Хороший плащ не надевай.
So, and what we'd love to do, we'd like you to define the love in this ballad in one word or two. What is it about? Love is.
Well, yeah, that's you. Thank you. Okay, another one about a married couple. A famous one, actually. The plot has wandered through the different countries. There was even an old Arabic tale with the same plot, where one of the spouses asks the other either to close the door or to wash the dishes, and the other refuses, and then they quarrel, and they make a bet that the first one to speak is gonna do the chores or close the door or do something else. And then they just stop talking almost forever. Get up and bar the door. It fell about the Martinmas time, and the gay time it was then, when our good wife got puddings to make, and she's boiled them in the pan. The wind so cold blew south and north, and blew into the floor. What our good man to our good wife? Go out and bar the door. My hand is in my hussar's cap, good man as you may see, and it should not be barred this 100 year, it's not be barred for me. They made a paction twin them twa, they made it firm and sure, that the first whoever should speak should rise and bar the door. Then by there came two gentlemen at 12 o'clock at night, and they could neither see house nor hall, nor coal nor candlelight. Now whether is this a rich man's house, or whether is it a poor, but not a word wouldn't one of them speak for barring of the door. And first they ate white puddings, and then they ate the black. The muckle thought the good wife to herself, "You're not a word," she spake. Then said the one unto the other, "Here, man, take here my knife. Do you take off the old man's beard, and I'll kiss the good wife." But there's no water in the house, and what shall we do then? What ails you at the pudding brew that boils into the pan? Oh, up then stared our good man, and an angry man was he. "Will ye kiss my wife before my eye, and scab me with pudding brie?" Then up and started our good wife. We had 3 skips on the floor. "Good man, you've spoken the foremost word. Get up and bar the door." В переводе Маршака «Старуха, дверь закрой».
Под праздник, под воскресный день, пред тем, как на ночь лечь, хозяйка жарить принялась, варить, тушить и печь. Стояла осень на дворе, и ветер дул сырой. Старик старухе говорит: «Старуха, дверь закрой». «Мне только двери закрывать, и другого дела нет. По мне, пускай она стоит открытой 100 лет». Так без конца между собой вели супруги спор, пока старик не предложил старухе уговор. «Давай, старуха, помолчим, а кто откроет рот и первый вымолвит словцо, тот двери и запрет». Проходит час, за ним другой, хозяева молчат. Давно в печи погас огонь, в углу часы стучат. Вот бьют часы 12 раз, а дверь не заперта. 2 незнакомца входят в дом, а в доме темнота. «А ну-ка, гости говорят, кто в домике живет?» Молчат старуха и старик, воды набрали в рот. Ночные гости из печи берут по пирогу и потроха, и петуха. Хозяйка не гу-гу. Нашли табак у старика, хороший табачок. Из бочки выпили пивка, хозяева молчок. Все взяли гости, что могли, и вышли за порог. Идут двором и говорят: «Сырой у них пирог». А им вослед старуха: «Нет, пирог мой не сырой». Ей из угла старик в ответ: «Старуха, дверь закрой». Как видите, концовка совершенно другая.
Да, по сравнению с английской версией. Победитель в этом споре другой. Мы продолжим говорить о поэзии уже литературной, о Бене Джонсоне, современнике Шекспира, его друге, который иронически немножко отзывался о Шекспире и говорил, что Шекспиру бы не мешало вычитывать его произведения, хотя, безусловно, признавал его гений.
The Hourglass by Ben Jonson. Consider this small dust here in the glass, by atoms moved. Could you believe that this body was of one that loved, and in his mistress's flame, playing like a fly, was turned to cinders in her eye? Yes, and in death, as life unblessed, the haft expressed, even ashes of lovers find no rest.
Песочные часы. Гляни на этот тонкий прах, струящийся в часах стеклянных. Поверишь ли, что это был тот, кто любил цвет глаз желанный? Он в них сгорел, как мотылек, и прахом в эту колбу лег, испепеленный. Но обрести покой не смог и самый прах влюбленный. Переходим к поэтам-метафизикам, как их называли, и к Джону Донну. Блоха. Мы представим два перевода Блохи Кружкова и Бродского. Начнем с Кружкова, прочтем на английском, потом перейдем к переводу Бродского. «Взгляни и рассуди. Вот бложка. Уснула, крови выпила немножко. Сперва моей, потом твоей. И наша кровь перемешалась в ней. Какое в этом прегрешение? Где тут бесчестие, кровосмешение? Пусть бложке гибель суждена, ей можно позавидовать. Она успела радости вкусить сполна. О, погоди, в пылу жестоком не погуби 3 жизни ненароком. Здесь, в бложке, я и ты, сейчас. В ней храм и ложа брачная для нас. Наперекор всему на свете укрылись мы в живые стены эти. Ты смертью ей грозишь, постой. Убив блоху, убьешь и нас с тобой. Ты не замолишь этот грех тройной. Упрямится. Из прикословия взяла и ноготь обогрела кровью. И чем была грешна блоха? Тем, что в ней капля твоего греха? Казнила и глядишь победно. Кровопускание, говоришь, не вредно. А коли так, что за беда? Прильни ко мне, без страха и стыда. Любви моей тем паче нет вреда.
Flea. Mark, but this, a flea. And mark in this, how little that which thou deniest me is. It sucked me first, and now sucks thee. And in this flea our 2 bloods mingled be. Thou know'st this cannot be said, a sin nor shame, nor loss of maidenhead. And yet, this enjoys before it woo, and pampered swells with 1 blood made of 2. And this, alas, is more than we would do. Flea.
Блоха в переводе Бродского. Узри в блохе, что мирно льнет к стене, сколь малым ты отказываешь мне. Кровь поровну пила она из нас, твоя с моей в ней смешаны сейчас. Но этого ведь мы не назовем грехом, потерей девственности, злом. Блоха от крови смешанной пьяна, предвечным сном насытилась сполна. Достигла больше нашего она. Узри же в ней 3 жизни и почти ее вниманием. Ибо в ней почти, нет, больше, чем женаты, ты и я. И ложа нам и храм блоха сия, нас связывают крепче алтаря, живые стены цвета янтаря. Щелчком ты можешь оборвать мой вздох, но не простится мы убийство Бог, и святотатственно убийство 3. Ах, все же стал твой ноготь палачом, в крови невинной обогренным. В чем вообще блоха повинную была? В той капле, что случайно отпила? Но раз ты шепчешь, гордость затая, что, дескать, не ослабла мощь моя, не будь к моим претензиям глуха. Ты меньше потеряешь от греха, чем выпила убитая блоха. Интересно, как в варианте Кружкова исчез мотив самоубийства и вся связанный с этим большой достаточно пласт философский. Okay, moving on to the Cavalier poets, поэты-кавалеры, современники Джона Донна, современники поэтов-метафизиков. Ну, если у поэтов-метафизиков, как вы могли заметить по стихотворению Блоха, все раскручивалось вокруг некого мощного центрального образа, и он влек за собой ряд сравнений, и в итоге это все выливалось в стройную философскую концепцию с небольшим переворотом, с неким парадоксальным выводом в конце, то поэты-кавалеры больше... Это люди, которые, собственно, были придворными, и их поэзия больше сконцентрирована на земном.
To look a satyr going to the wars. Tell me not, sweet, I am unkind, that from the nunnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind, to war and arms I fly. True, a new mistress now I chase, the first foe in the field, and with a stronger faith embrace, a sword, a horse, a shield. Yet this inconsistency is such, as you too shall adore. I could not love thee, dear, so much, loved I not honor more.
Ричард Лавлейс, Лукасти, уходя на войну. Меня неверным не зови за то, что тихий сад твоей доверчивой любви сменял на гром и ад. Да, я отныне увлечен врагом, бегущим прочь, коня ласкаю, и с мечом я коротаю ночь. Я изменил, что ж, так и есть, но изменил, любя, ведь если бы я предал честь, я предал бы тебя. Тут идет отсылка к английской революции. Поэты-кавалеры как раз принадлежали не к лагерю победителей, а они были роялисты. Произведение того же автора, Ричарда Лавлейса.
Why? Why so pale and wan, fond lover? Prithee, why so pale? Will, when looking well, can't move her, looking ill prevail? Prithee, why so pale? Why so dull and mute, young sinner? Prithee, why so mute? Will, when speaking well, can't win her, saying nothing dot? Prithee, why so mute? Quit, quit, for shame! This will not move, this cannot take her. If of herself she will not love, nothing can make her. The devil take her.
Один из последних поэтов-кавалеров Джон Саклин. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna read that in English. Что бледнейший вздыхаешь? Что бледнейший вздыхаешь, бедный дуралей? Или вздохами мечтаешь тронуть сердце ей? Бедный дуралей. Что молчишь и смотришь кротко? Онемел, простак? Или думаешь, красотка все поймет и так? Ох, какой простак! Не добьешься ничего ты, брось, не будь упрям. Если нету неохоты, не поладить вам. Ну ее, к чертям.
Oh, yes. Constant lover. Out upon it, I have loved 3 whole days together, and am like to love 3 more, if it prove fair weather. Time shall molt away his wings, ere he shall discover, in such whole wide world again, such a constant lover. But the spite on't is not a praise, is due at all to me. Love with me had made no stave, had it any been but she. Had it any been but she, and that very face, there had been at least ere this a dozen in her place.
Верный влюбленный. Черт возьми, 3 дня подряд я в любовной роли. Если дождик не пойдет, пролюблю и боли. Пеп, ты обошел весь свет. Отвечай толково. Где ты видел дурака верного? Короче, на кружковом версии.
Now we are going to talk about another figure in the British literature, William Blake. William Blake, очень интересная фигура, человек, который не был известен при жизни. Он был известен в узком кругу поэтов. И открыл его, кстати, для широкой аудитории Рассетти, прерафаэлит через 40 лет спустя после его смерти. А так должен был наступить романтизм уже совсем скоро-скоро, но Блейк — это предтеча романтизма. То есть он был романтиком задолго до молодых романтиков школы озерной, озерной школы. Итак, a very short poem.
Love's secret. Never seek to tell thy love, love that never told can be. For the gentle wind does move, silently, invisibly. I told my love, I told my love, I told her all my heart. Trembling, cold, in ghastly tears, oh, he does depart. Soon as she was gone from me, a traveler came by. Silently, invisibly, he took with her a sigh.
Перевод Маршака. Словом высказать нельзя всю любовь к любимой. Ветер движется, скользя, тихий и незримый. Я сказал, я все сказал, что в душе таилось. Ах, любовь моя в слезах, в страхе удалилась. И мгновение спустя путник, шедший мимо, тихо, вкрадчиво, шутя, завладел любимой. Love is. Хорошо. Так, переходим к озерной школе. Озерная школа — это Уотсфорд и Колридж. И к ним примкнувший Саути, конечно же, которого вы все прекрасно знаете, русские переводы Чуковского, его баллады. Но мы взяли опять маленькое стихотворение. То есть мы не стали брать мы не стали брать баллады, мы взяли маленькое. И как раз у Саути «О, Валентин». Oh, Valentine.
Go, Valentine. Go, Valentine, and tell that lovely maid whom fancy still will portray to my sight how here I linger in this sullen shade, this dreary gloom of dull monastic night. Say that every joy of life remote, at evening's closing hour I quit the throng, listening in solitude the ring dome's note, who pours like me her solitary song. Say that of her absence calls a sorrowing sigh. Say that all her charms I love to speak, in fancy feel the magic of her eye, in fancy view the smile illume her cheek, court the lone hour when silence stills the grove, and heave the sigh of memory and of love.
О, Валентин, скажи той деве милой, чей образ до сих пор в моих мечтах, что вновь я здесь, в тени густой, унылой, и ночи мрак печален, как монах, что в жизни я своей уединенной страдаю каждый вечер в тишине и слушаю тоскливо перезвоны, поющие ей так же, как и мне. Скажи, что я вздыхаю от мучения, чарующе представив силуэт, глаз волшебство в своем воображении и на щеках улыбки дивный свет. В тот час, когда стихает в роще звук, любви своей я чувствую недуг.
There's left one. Okay. Perfect. Byron, the first kiss of love. Away with your fictions of flimsy romance, those tissues of falsehood with folly wave. Give me the mild beam of the soul-breaking glance, or the rapture which dwells on the first kiss of love. Ye rhymers whose bosoms with fantasy glow, whose pastoral passions are made for the grove, for what blessed inspiration your sonnets would flow, could you ever have tasted the first kiss of love? If Apollo should ere his assistance refuse, or the nine be disposed for your service to rove, invoke them no more, bid adieu to the muse, and try the effect of the first kiss of love. I hate you, ye cold compositions of art, though prudes may condemn me and bigots reprove. I court the effusions that spring from the heart, which throbs with delight to the first kiss of love. Your shepherds, your flocks, those fantastical themes, perhaps may amuse, yet they can never move. Arcadia displays but a region of dreams. What are visions like these to the first kiss of love? Oh, cease to affirm that man since his birth, from Adam till now, has with wretchedness strove. Some portion of paradise still is on earth, and Eden revives in the first kiss of love. When age chills the blood, when our pleasures are past, for years fleet away with the wings of the dove, the dearest remembrance will still be the last, our sweetest memorial, the first kiss of love.
Так, перевод Брюсова, первый поцелуй любви. Мне сладких обманов романа не надо. Прочь вымысел, тщетно души не волнуй. О, дайте мне луч упоенного взгляда и первый стыдливый любви поцелуй. Поэт, воспевающий рощу и поле, спеши, вдохновение свое уврачуй. Стихи твои хлынут потоком на воле, лишь вкусишь ты первый любви поцелуй. Не бойся, что Пеп отвратит свои взоры, о помощи муз не жалей, не тоскуй. Что Пеп музагет, что парнасские хоры, заменит их первый любви поцелуй. Не надо мне мертвых созданий искусства. О свет лицемерный, клюни и ликуй. Я жду вдохновения, где вырвалось чувство, где слышится первый любви поцелуй. Создание мечты, где пастушки тоскуют, где дремлют стада у задумчивых струй. Быть может, пленят но души не взволнуют. Дороже мне первой любви поцелуй. О, кто говорит, человек, искупая грех, праотца вечно, рыдай и горюй. Нет, цел уголок недоступного рая, он там, где есть первой любви поцелуй. Пусть старость мне кровь беспощадно остудит, ты, память былого, мне сердце чаруй, и лучшим сокровищем памяти будет он, первый, стыдливый любви поцелуй. Мы просто занимались Кэролом и занимались прерафаэлитами. Это один из основателей братства прерафаэлитов, художник, поэт, тот человек, которого я сегодня упоминала. Он открыл для публики, собственно, Уильяма Блейка. И, ну, собственно, давайте я прочту его одно стихотворение, а потом мы потихонечку уже переходим к лирихью и закругляемся. Не сразу отметить. Давай твои. Стихотворение у него посвящено. С твоих густых волос я снял покров, и вижу робкий блеск лесных цветов, запутанных в золотистом рое. На грани года, чуждом ей настрое, колеблется весна. На тихий зов не тянется терновник из снегов. Беседки полнит веяние сырое. Но солнце будет луг в апреле раннем. Закрой глаза, ты слышишь? Здесь и там весна проходит легким трепетанием, как поцелуй по векам и губам. И целый час любовь клянется нам, что в сердце снег хранить мы перестанем.
On this sweet bank your head right sweet and dear I lay, and spread your hair on either side, and see the newborn woodflowers bashful-eyed look through the golden trees here and there. On these debatable borders of the year, spring's forehead falters, 'cause she yet may know the leafless blackthorn blossom from the snow, and through her bowers the wind's way still is clear. But April's sun strikes down the glades today, so shut your eyes upturned and fill my kiss, sweet as the spring now thrills through every spray, up your warm throat to your warm lips. For this is even the hour of love's sworn sweet servant, with whom cold hearts are counted passed away. Собственно, на рассите мы постепенно заканчиваем. У него был достаточно известный эпизод из биографии, что его жена Элизабет Седал, которая была одновременно его моделью для ключевых картин, умерла достаточно рано, и он в отчаянии похоронил вместе с ней все свои рукописи. Но через 7 лет был вынужден их откопать. Ему пришлось снова вырыть, и он сам этого не делал,
Он сам этого не делал, и страшно переживал. Но у него рукописи нет. Он очень
Безусловно. Итак, этот эпизод стал основой для одного из образчиков поэзии Клерихью. Клерихью, наследники нонсенса, наследники поэзии нонсенса Эдварда Лира во многом, немножко похожи на лимерики, но другой структуры. Это четверостишие, рифмовка АББ, в которых упоминается некий известный исторический персонаж или известный психологический персонаж или художественной литературы, про которого дальше идет некая такая короткая зарисовка, основанная на событиях его жизни, но либо парадоксальная, либо переворачивающие эти события, либо как-то мягко высмеивающие. И, собственно, Клерихью, посвященная просветке.
Daniel Gabriel Rossetti buried all of his libretti, thought the matter over then, went and dug them up again.
Данте Габриэль Россетти предал земле свои либретти, за что корил себя невероятно, а после взял и все их выкопал обратно. The problem with being the Sphinx is not smelling the stinks of insects and patricide and hacks surrounding Oedipus Rex. Сфинкс, когда загадку загадала, не учуяла амбре скандала вокруг Эдипа. Он был обречен стать мужем матери, отцеубийцей и царем.
This. And we can't wait to hear what you have to say. So I hope your poetic hearts are beating now, and I hope you're ready to take to the stage and tell us what love is. Although it's not all romance, don't worry, we have a few fun poems here and there. So yes, let's begin, shall we? Let the poetry begin. So the first round is going to be satirical and humorous poems. The second round, romantic poems. And the third round, we're going to try a bit of slam poetry, which is a new form of poetry. It's similar to rap, but without the awful music and bad words. So yes, it should be fun. Have a look at the poet. Oh, thank you. You have a few seconds, apologies, to have a look at the poem first, and then you perform. We, the judges, will write down scores. I know poetry is an art and it cannot be quantified, but we are hoping to reward those who really put all their heart and soul into reading it. And there will be some prizes at the end, Valentine's theme prizes. So yes, best of luck. Here you go. Okay, wonderful. Take a few seconds.
Dad is Dead by Alan Balta. When somebody dies, folks hardly ever say dead. They prefer expired or departed instead. Most of the euphemisms don't do any harm, like biting the dust or buying the farm. They are falling off the porch and giving up the ghost. Taking a dirt nap is one I like most. Kick the oxygen habit and gone offline are a couple favorites of mine. How about at room temperature or fellow first click, wearing a toe tag or play his last gig? Built a Pinconda and 6 feet under. Became a road inspector, makes one wonder. Try went belly up and eat the biscuit. Laid down his burden and never missed it. Gone to his maker and out of print. In a horizontal phone booth or a parliament stand. Defunct, extinct, and in a crisper. Most say I'm no louder than a whisper. Going to Slip City and pass his soul by date. Cashing his chips at the pearly gate. Now we could go on, but you get the point. Have a fun in life before checking out of this joint. And should you come to my funeral, don't bring a thing. Just sit back and listen to the fat lady sing.
This is our rather tonight. Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. I need something. The name is Pantelimon. Pantelimon. Confessions of a Serial Land Killer. Sounds intriguing. Or I wish that I had a green thumb. All my whole houseplants are looking quite glum. I never can tell why they are looking unwell or why so many succumb. Have I failed to give enough water? Have I watered them more than I ought to? Are they getting too hot? Is this not the right spot? It's like sending poor lambs to the slaughter. The hard, undeniable fact is many succulents, ferns, and cactus, a begonia, a fig, many palms, small and big, have been victims of my malpractice. Oh, malpractice. Sorry. I confess I am a serial killer. Many end up as mulch or landfiller. I kill far more plants than snails, thrips, or ants, or an army of green caterpillar. Though houseplants are deemed beneficial, should these perish, then it is official. I'll waste no more doubt just to watch them die slow, for my next plants will be artificial. Yes,
So I need a couple minutes, right?
Seconds. It's impromptu. You feel the poem and you go with it. That's what poetry is about.
I mean, if it was a Russian poem, that
Oh, and I apologize, I didn't give you the microphone. There, magic of the moment. Without it. I agree with you. Natural is always best.
So I'm doing it without mic.
Yeah.
So, smart poem by dumb user. It's more modern. My new poem is smart. I guess that I'm not. Amazing what all this here smartphone has got. TV and weather and internet too. There's just no limits to what I can do. Check my blood pressure and my temperature without even probing all my apertures. I know now the time in Paris or Greece. I can track the immigration of thousands of G's. Or find Chinese food. It's here on this map. Oops, my fingers just slipped. Now where was that at? A camera. Now I can take shots of everyone I know, or rather I not. Push this here button and take me a selfie. If it had no nose, would this thing take a smell fee? A mail to pester with, video to shoot, maps to drive around with. Wow, that's a hoot. A compass to guide me home if I'm lost. Thank God work paid for this thing, what it costs. The things that I does would amaze Mr. Bell. What he would have thought of it, no one can tell. But one question still stuck in my middle-aged craw. Despite all these gizmos that strike me with awe, they're fun, they're useful and techy and all, but how do I just simply make a phone call? Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. Right.
Yes, down to read from the spot. Someone would like to read from the spot, maybe.
From the what?
From the spot, maybe.
Oh, like, yeah, if you're not comfortable standing on stage, you're more than welcome to read from your seat if you'd like. But of course, it's wonderful if we can see your face. Who would like to go next? Any poets? I can just see poets all around me. Come on, who's willing to go up? It really doesn't matter how you pronounce things, just try. Come on. Wonderful! Right. Would you like to take from the book or from here? It's up to you. Then you take the poet from Yeah, you want to take that? Okay, perfect. You have a few seconds to... My name's Camilla.
My name is Camille. I just need some seconds.
Of course. Ready? Up you go then. Take to the stage.
Bloody men. Bloody men are like bloody bosses. You wait for about a year, and as soon as one approaches your stop, 2 or 3 others appear. You look at them flashing their indicators, offering you a ride. You are trying to reach the destination. You haven't much time to decide. If you make a mistake, there is no turning back. Jump off and you'll stand there and gaze while the cars and the taxis and lorries go by, and the minutes, the hours, the days.
I'm not sure if you have the same in Russia, but in England we certainly have, like, our buses, they never are on time, and then you wait and you wait and you wait, and then they all come, just like men. So yes. Right, thank you very much. Who's going to be our next brave soul? For the newcomers who've come, we're just having a quick poetry competition here. We'd love to see how you read poems, so perhaps one of the newcomers. Oh, you, of course.
I don't agree with you. I'd like to read something.
Of course, that's more wonderful.
It's from 20th century.
Wonderful.
Brodsky respected him very much.
And will you tell us your name? I'm sorry. Will you tell us your name, please? Your name, your name, your name?
My name is Tatiana.
Thank you very much.
Driver, drive faster and make a good run down the Springfield line under the shining sun. Fly like the airplane, don't push up short till you break for Grand Central Station, New York. For there in the middle of the waiting hall should be standing the one that I love best of all. If he's not there to meet me, then I get to town. I'll stand on the pavement with tears rolling down. For he is one that I love to look on. The acme of kindness and perfection. He presses my hand and he says he loves me, which I find admirable peculiarity. The woods are bright, green on both sides of the line. The trees have their loves, for they are different from mine. But the poor, fat old banker in the sun parallel car has no one to love him except his cigar. If I were head of the church of the state, I'd powder my nose and just tell them to wait. For love is more important and powerful than even priest or politician.
I don't think we would have been able to find such a wonderful poem. That's absolutely wonderful. Oh, thank you. Well, who's willing to go next? Any other poets who are willing to take to the stage? Come on, don't look so wan. Prithee, come on, take to the stage. Come on, who's willing to go next? They're wonderful poems. No one else willing to read? I know you, dear sir, can read rather well. You're not willing to? Oh, wonderful! And the poet arises from his slumber.
Only for you, for the right.
Only for me, thank you very much. Right. I suppose. Thank you, I'm very touched.
So am I.
And sorry, your name, dear sir, I've forgotten.
My name is Yuri.
Yuri, yes, of course.
No, for nothing. Merry Valentine's Day, lovely friends.
Thank you.
Merry or not married?
Happy.
Cinderella, Snow Queen, who will best for marriage? So, ending. The love we fought would never stop. Now goes like a congealing chop. The kisses that were hot at curry are built pigsstaking in a hurry. The hands that held electric charge now lie in it as a four-mood batch. The feet that run to meet a date are running slow and running late. Ways which shun and seldom shut are victims of a overcut. The parts that when transmitted joy are now received and cooled and cold. Romance expect wants to stay, has left a note saying, gone away.
Anyone else? We've got our last few comic poems before we go to the next round, to the semi-finals. No ladies at the back? No gentlemen? This is your last chance. Or we'll go to... Really? Wonderful! Thank you, I like that. Senior, yes? Yes. Wonderful, yes. First. Right. 1 second. If you like, let's give you this one.
Yes.
Of course, yes, thank you.
Symptoms recital. I don't like my state of mind. I'm bitter, querulous, unkind. I have my legs, I have my hands. I don't know a yearn for loving Helens. I dread the dawn recurrent light. I have to go to bed at night. I snort at simple, earnest folk. I cannot take the gentles of joke. I find my peace in paint or type. My world is but a lot of tripe. I'm besillused, empty priest. For what I think, I'm the arrest. I'm not sick, I'm not well. I'm cold, dreams are shot to hell. My soul is crushed, my spirit sore. I don't like me anymore. I sever, quarrel, ground, get holes. I ponder on the narrow holes. I shuddered at thought of man, that I'm dutiful in love again.
Right, we have one last poem left. Is anyone willing to stand up? Last chance. Look at this. Wonderful, thank you very much. Great man. 1 second. Here. Short, sweet, and nice. And your name, dear sir?
My name is Lotus. Hot and cold. A woman whom my mother knows come in and took off of her clothes. Say I, not being very old, by golly gosh, you must be cold. No, no, she cried. Indeed I'm not. I'm feeling devilishly hot.
That's actually not the one I was meant to give you, there's one on top, but it doesn't matter. That's a little bit more naughty than I expected, but I think you chose the right one. Wonderful. Right, we're going to be 2 seconds now with the scoring, and then we'll go on to the semi-finals. Hold on 1 second. Oh, she says that everyone deserves a prize. Okay, of course, everyone will get a prize.
For different things, yeah.
But we're going on to the semi-finals now, so hold on 1 second. Okay, wonderful, perfect. So we've got 4 people now going on to the semi-finals. So we've got Pantamillion, Dimitri, Camilla, and Tatiana. So thank you very much, everyone who read. So yes, and Gladys as well. Sorry, I missed that one person. So now we're going to go on to the romantics. So who's going to go up first? I suppose we should go with Dimitri, I suppose, because Pantamillion. Where's Pantamillion? That's wonderful. Pantamillion. Sorry, it's a very poetic name.
It's a Greek one.
Wonderful. Very poetic indeed. Right, would you like to come and take a poem? You're welcome to choose anything you want. Would you like a piece of paper or a book?
Both.
Okay, wait a second. Here. Any of these ones. Wonderful. And just go wherever it is, I think. Oh, no. This one, sorry.
Okay, I will try to improvise. Ballad of the Despairing Husband. My wife and I lived all alone. Contention was our only bone. I fought with her, she fought with me, and things went on right merrily. But now I live here by myself, with hardly a damn thing on the shelf, and pass my day with little cheer, since I have parted from my dear. Oh, come home soon, I write to her. Go F-word yourself is her answer. Now, what is that for Christian word? I hope she feeds on dried goose turd. But still, I love her, yes, I do. I love her and the children too. I only think it fit that she should quickly come right back to me, Ah, no, she says, and she's tough and smacks me down with her rebuff. Ah, no, she says, I will not come after the bloody things you've done. Oh wife, I tell you true, I never loved no one but you. I never will, it cannot be, another woman is for me. That may be right, she will say then, but as for me, there's other men. And I will tell you, I propose to catch them firmly by the nose, and I will wear what dresses I choose, and I will dance and what's to lose. I'm free of you, you little prick, and I'm the one who can make it stick. Was this the darling I did love? Was this that mercy from above? Did open violets in the spring and made my own warm self to sing? She was, I know, and she is still. And if I love her, then so I will. And I will tell her right. Oh, lovely lady, morning or evening or afternoon. Oh, lovely lady, eating with or without a spoon. Oh, most lovely lady, whether dressed or undressed or partly, oh, most lovely lady, getting up or going to bed or sitting only. Oh, loveliest of ladies, than whom none is more fair, more gracious, more beautiful. Oh, loveliest of ladies, whether you are just or unjust, merciful, indifferent or cruel. Oh, most loveliest of ladies, doing whatever, seeing whatever, being whatever. Oh, most loveliest of ladies, in rain, in shine, in any weather. Oh, lady, grant me time, please, to finish my rhyme.
Thank you very much. That was lovely and fantastic. Wonderful. And our next is, I think, Dimitri. Yes, Dimitri. Wonderful. Right, Dimitri.
Can I try something else on the ground?
Of course, yes. There's two choices. Take the page. Let's see if it's the right one. Byron.
So short.
Short, okay.
No, compared to that one.
But it was an extremely long one to the other.
No, that's the same.
Shakespeare or
Alright.
Byron? It's up to you.
Alright.
Shakespeare or Byron?
Byron.
Byron.
Yes.
He's got a fiery heart, I agree with you.
Just a minute, please. Lord Byron, so we'll go no more rowing. So we'll go no more rowing, so late into the night. Though the heart be still as loving, and the moon be still as bright. For the sword at west is chafed, and the soul wears out the breast, and the heart must pause to breathe, and love itself have rest. Though the night was made for loving, and the day returns too soon, yet we'll go no more a-rowing by the light of the moon. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I think we have Camilla. Yes? Right. Maybe you'd like to take something from this book? I'm not sure. Up to you. Whichever book you want. This one? Perfect. Ooh, this is wonderful. It's from Byron as well. They're challenging, but poems aren't meant to be a walk in the park. They're meant to expand your mind and soul.
While Camilla is preparing, I got an idea. At the end, that our Elizabeth read in Russian.
Oh dear, oh no.
Why not? Improvise. She can speak a little,
At
right?
a cafe somewhere.
Can speak quite well. Quite well.
Band of birds.
Yes, we do. You'll be able to learn. Of course.
Do my best. She walks in beauty. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. The shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens her face. With thoughts serenely sweet express, how pure, how dear their dwelling place, and on the cheek, and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness found, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent.
Thank you very much. And I think Tatiana is next up for, yes. Actually, perhaps Tatiana, perhaps you could find the poem while the next lady is reading, if you can find it. I think it's Vladis. Where's
Can I
Vladis?
find
Vladis?
Where is?
Maybe you can sit down and you find it, and Vladis will perform while you're finding it, of course. Yes? Vladis, please come. Don't be scared. And open your heart. Right. And we also have Shakespeare.
1 minute, please.
Of course.
So I read it.
Wonderful.
So Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds by William Shakespeare. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when inalteration finds or bends with the remove to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests, and is never shaken. It is the star to every moldering dark, whose worths you know, although his hate be taken. Love's not time's fool, so rose lips and cheeks. Within his binding sickles compass come. Love alters not with his brief house and weeks, but bears it all even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me wrong, I never write, nor no man ever loved. That's
And Middle English is rather difficult. Have you found your favourite poem? Oh,
Just
wonderful.
moment, I remember. Girls, red rose. Oh, my love, like red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love, like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As far as that were my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gone dry, till all the seas gone dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well alive, and I will come again, my love, for it were 10,000 miles.
That truly is a lovely poem. Thank you. Right, the two judges have insisted that we have one more lady because they were so impressed. So Ksenia, please will you come? And don't look at me so, you can look at them. They insisted. So, 1 second. Would you like this? Ooh. Kisses in the train, rather la la. You don't have to read it all, you can stop when you feel comfortable.
Well,
It's
yeah.
rather long.
Could you name the author?
Name of the author David Herbert Lawrence. Kisses to the
Lawrence.
train. Lawrence, yes. So, I saw the midlands revolve through her hair, the fields of autumn stretching bare, and ships on pasture tossed back in scare. And still as ever the world went round, my mouth of her pulsing neck was found, and my wrist to her beating breast was bound. But my heart at the center of all in a swound was still as a pivot, as all the ground on its probing orbit shifted round, and still in my nostrils the scant of her flesh, and still my wet mouth saw her afresh, and still one pulse through the world did fresh, and the world of really round in joy.
I think that was like the hottest poem we've had so far. I know if you're interested downstairs, there's a whole book on erotic poems, but I thought that was a bit too much for today, to be honest. That was too much for me as well. Thank you very much. That's the end of the semi-final. So what we're quickly going to do now is we're going to decide, I think, the top 3 performers, although you were all lovely, and we'll quickly do some slam poetry so you get a taste of modern poetry, and then we'll finish off there so you can go up with hopefully a nice date. So yes. Wonderful, perfect. Okay, we've come to a conclusion. So we've got Pantaleon, if I pronounce your name correctly, no I haven't, Camilla and Tatiana in the finals. So let's start this time with, one second, Pantaleon.
That's fine.
I'm sorry you have to start each time. Just put on your JZ head, or I don't know what rappers are called these days, but get into a different mood. It's no longer Wordsworth, it's no longer Byron. This is modern poetry.
Cool.
So, be prepared. At last, at long last. I think this is good for you. Just feel it. Go with the flow. It's modern poetry. You can't go wrong. There's no Middle English. There's no twazzle, twat. It's all...
To the boys who may one day date my daughter. To the boys who may one day date my daughter, I have been waiting for you since before her birth, since before my spark took hold and ignited the fire in her mother's belly. I have been training to kill you. When you took your first steps, I was preparing to make it so you never walked again. When you played at war, I was perfecting headshots. You can't catch up at this point. And when you first meet my daughter and fall in love with the look she sends over her shoulder, her crescent moon eyes framing her laughing smile, you are gonna wanna talk to her. And when those hours pass by like sprinters during that first timeless conversation, you will also know with a deep and impending sense of dread that you are going to have talk to me. When you first come to my home and see the bone carving over my threshold, try not to imagine your own furnace so expertly carved. Pay no attention to my ample crawl space, my room with a rubber mat and drain. Be careful to only approach me with love for my daughter. See, I have been singing her childhood with taproot hugs, to weed out indifference and apathy. There will be no daddy issues for your teenage talents to catch up on if you break her heart. I will hear it snap with the ear I pressed against her mother's belly. The elbow I cradled her head in will send a message to my fist. My cheeks are turned to her lips. I will know if they tremble.
Thank you, that was lovely. Right, and next up I think is Camilla. with the, sorry, she's like, 1 second, let's get the, here we are. Yes. Here. Very at home for you as well, I think. It's your favorite song, right? Yes, you're right, actually, you know. That's should I see? You can. Listen to the poet inside of you.
Okay, it's a long one, so I think I'll improvise mostly. I can sing partly.
Of course, listen to the poet inside of you.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be pretty? Will I be pretty? What comes next? Oh right, will I be rich? Which is almost pretty depending on where you shop. And the pretty question infects from conception, passing blood and breath into cells. The word hangs from our mother's hearts in a shrill, fluorescent floodlight of worry. Will I be wanted, worthy, pretty? But puberty left me this somehow smeared right. Teeth set at science fiction angels, crooked nose, face donkey long, and box marked with hormones went fingerprinting. My poor mother, how could this happen? You will have porcelain skin as soon as we can see a dermatologist. You sucked your thumb. That's why your teeth look like that. You were hit in the face with a frisbee when you were 6. Otherwise, your nose would have been just fine. Don't worry, we'll get it all fixed. You should say, grasping my face, twisting in this way and that, as if it were a cabbage she might buy. But this is not about her, not her fault. She, too, was raised to believe the greatest asset she could bestow upon her awkward little girl was a marketable facade. By 16, I was pickled with ointments, medications, peroxides, teeth curled into steel prongs, laying in a hospital bed, face packed with gauze, cautioning the brand new nose the surgeon had got.
Thank you very much. Lovely. I know it's rather difficult, but right, Tatiana, Julia, sorry. Oh dear. It's okay, I'll pick them up, don't worry. Are you willing to read a slam poem? Are you willing to read a slam poem?
I don't know this author, but I will try.
Thank you, wonderful.
I remember the bed just folding there, apart. My mother taught me this trick. If you repeat something over and over again, it loses its meaning. For example, homework. See, nothing. Our existence, she said, is the same way. You watch the sun set too often. It just becomes 6 p.m. You make the same mistake over and over, and you'll stop calling it a mistake if you just wake up. One day you'll forget why. Nothing is forever, she said. My parents left each other when I was 7 years old. Before their last argument, they sent me off to the neighbor's house, like some astronaut jettisoned from the shuttle. When I came back, there was no gravity in our home. Beds floating. I imagined it as an accident. Then, when I left, they whispered to each other, "I love you," so many times over that they forgot what it meant. Family, 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 family. My mother taught me this trick. If you repeat something over and over again, it loses its meaning. This became my favorite game. It made the sting of words evaporate. Separation, separation, separation. See, nothing. Apart, 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 apart. See, nothing. I'm an injured handyman now. I work with words all day. Shut up. I know the irony. When I was young, I was taught that the trick to dominating language was breaking it down, convincing it that it was worthless. I love you, I love you, I love you. See, nothing. Soon after my parents' divorce, I developed a stutter. Fate is a cruel and efficient tutor. There is no escaping stutter. You feel the meaning of every word drag itself up your throat. Separation. Stutter is a cage made of mirrors. Every "Are you okay?" Every "What do you say?" Every common kid, speak it out, is a glare and a reflection you cannot escape. Every terrible moment skips upon its own announcement, over and over, until it just hangs there, floating in the middle of the room. Mom, Dad, I'm not wasteful with my words anymore. Even now, after hundreds of hours of practicing away my stutter, I still feel the claw of meaning in the bottom of my throat. I have heard that even in space you can hear the scratching of a "I love you". Stutter — это когда вот запинается и не может ничего сказать. И вот с ним такое происходит.
That was lovely, thank you very much. If you want, you can keep the poem. You might like it as a perfect, wonderful. Right, that was lovely. I'm ever so happy that you all decided to participate. And for those who didn't, while we're quickly deciding who the winner's going to be, we'll just be about 2 minutes. Is there anyone who didn't participate, who'd just like perhaps to sit down on their seat and just try and read out a poem after you've seen how everyone else did it so wonderfully? Or perhaps the people who did participate but would like to read again something to each other. We have a few poems that are left over. Would anyone like to do that? No? Come on, the joy of poetry. No one? I suppose we could have 2 people reading it. Is there like a girl and a boy who wouldn't mind reading a poem together?
Yeah.
You can. We've got one boy. Have we got a girl? Wonderful. Why don't we have the 2 girls together? You guys can read line by line. Wonderful. All come up. You can all come up here. Wonderful. Well, we're making our judgments. Or you can sit down if you're comfortable. If you're comfortable sitting down, it's really up to you. Wait, no. You need to be our he. We need a he and a she. Right. First the she starts and then the he's go. So you see she. So you can read one paragraph, she can read one paragraph, you can read one paragraph, and then you give it to him. Is there not another gentleman who wouldn't mind being another he? No one? Wonderful, thank you. So she goes first. She. Is there another girl who wouldn't mind to come up and stand and read? No one?
And then. So it's 5.
Tatiana, would you like to go? Wonderful. And another gentleman for one more paragraph. Another gentleman? No?
You read this. So
yes, you start with the first one, you're the second one, you're the third one, and then you go to the he's. Wonderful.
Cafe Comedy by Robert Williams Service. I'm waiting for the man I hope to wed. I've never seen him, that's the funny part. I promised I would wear a rose of red, pinned on my coat above my fluttered heart, so that he'd know me, a precaution wise, because I wrote him I was 23. And oh, such heaps and heaps of silly lies. So when we meet, what will he think of me?
Why didn't we hear you before, my dear?
funny, but it had a story side. I put an advert in an evening press. A lonely maiden fain would be a bride. Oh, it was shameless of me, I confess. But I'm 39 and in despair, waiting a home and children are too late. And don't forget I'm no more young and fair. I'll hide my rose and run. No, no, I'll wait.
An hour has passed and I'm waiting still. I ought to feel relieved, but I'm so sad. I would have liked to see him, just to thrill and sigh and say, there goes my lovely lad, my one loans. All life's milling is happy. Garçon, a coffee cream. I'll stay till 9. The coffee's empty, just an oldish chap who's sitting at the table next to mine.
I'm waiting for the girl I mean to wed. She was to come at 8 and now it's 9. She'd pin upon her coat a rose of red, and I will wear a marguerite in mine. No sign of her I see. It's true, my eyes need stronger glasses than the ones I wear, but oh, I feel my heart would recognize her face without the rose. She's so fair.
What deceivers are we aging men? What vanity keeps you youthful, hope, aglow? Poor girl, I sent a photo taken when I was a student 20 years ago. Thank you.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, perfect. Right, we're all going to award you with a certificate now. Thank you ever so much for coming. And the winner, we have our 3 finalists, Pantilimon, Tatiana, and Camilla. But ultimately, the winner of this poetry contest was Tatiana. So thank you very much. I think you're like just oozing with the love of poetry. So if all the winners could come here, and we'll just quickly give you, and all the participants as well, and we'll give you a certificate as a sort of a sign of our thanks for participating. And everyone also gets a sweet little something for Valentine's. So please, if you could all come here and just forget about social distancing, and we'll give you something. How do I spell your name? Tell me, please. Wait, why didn't someone else write it down? Because I'm absolutely awful. I can't even pronounce your name. Dimitri?
Yes.
Right, and would the people who participated like to come as well? So Dimitri, this is for you. Thank you very much. And you can come get something sweet now. Gladys, thank you. That's for you. Thank you ever so much for being brave enough to stand up. This is for you, Cindy. Thank you for coming. Sasha, thank you for being a brave one to stand up. Yuri, this is for you, of course. Thank you ever so much. And come for something sweet. And no, as the winner, you can, as a finalist, you can choose a book if you like. Here is some that like sort of have a look and see whether which book you'd like to take. It's just a small thing that you might like to enjoy. Have a look. Tatiana as well. Come Tatiana, have a look and see. And Tatiana as well. Oh wait.
Дорогие друзья, я хочу вам сказать, вы можете увидеть видео на нашем канале YouTube, Маяковка YouTube. Смотрите, пожалуйста, вы увидите, как он выступает.
Заходим.
Biscuits and Нет, Let me see if I have enough for everyone, and then I'll have enough. Sorry. One second. Did everyone? Oh, but you wait. 1 second. We have one more. Where's? Oh, Yuri. There you are. You're hiding. What would you like? Would you like some jam or
It's up to you.
what do you want? Jam. Wonderful. Enjoy. Thank you ever so much for reading, and also for the lovely ladies and gentlemen who yes.
Sorry. Мне кажется, мужчина принимал участие в первом да.
And we're going to put you two also to participate. You remember the end of I think I've given it to everyone now, but I don't think I missed out anyone, I'm sorry, but okay. Wonderful. So well, thank you ever so much for taking part. And if anyone would like an English book, we have some books here just like for people who are interested. If you'd like to take one, it's just a small present. So as a thanks for coming. So they're here if you like. So thank you. And if anyone would like to sort of, I suppose, just enjoy poetry that little bit more and spend the evening reclined in an armchair enjoying these beautiful words, you can also take some poems to read at home if you like. It's just, as I'll put it all there. So thank you ever so much for coming.